How you doing, James?
Good. How are you, Gunther?
I'm okay.
Think
Nervous.
How are you?
A little bit.
Why don't you hold the microphone at least a little close to you so you're not...
Like that?
Yeah, I think holding it's the best way. Is that all right?
Yes.
Okay. So I think you said you had something to kick us off, correct?
I do.
Oh, do you?
So an Irishman goes to his next door neighbor, basically to say, you got any work for me? Old lady answers the door, says, you got any work for me? She goes, well, if you want, you can paint my porch. I'll give you $350. Fair enough. Comes back a few hours later. He goes, the job is done. But just so you know, it's not the porch. It's a BMW. Like my cute joke?
Now that we got that over with, jeez.
Oh.
I have a joke too.
What's that?
Well, it's more of a statement, actually. Did you know that at all times your eyes can see your nose, but your brain chooses to ignore it?
It's hard to ignore mine now.
Oh, you beat me to it. I was going to tell you how to pay your brain overtime.
All right.
Gunther has a very large nose since we don't have visuals yet.
Yeah, I chose not to do the video cast for an undisclosed reason.
Oh, boy. All right, just to make sure we're good. Hold that a little back. Just hold it a little back.
Okay.
Right, about that length's good. We're trying to figure it out. So okay. I guess it's a good thing just to say we're Gunth and Jim, and here we are. We're doing a podcast. Two 25-year-old white guys doing a podcast. What a new concept, right?
In Hoboken,
New Jersey. Yeah, exactly. What a novel concept.
We are live from Jim's living room.
Yeah, we're in a dimly lit, orange-looking living room that I've put together with my roommate over the past year and a couple months, and
it looks great.
Yeah, we're starting it. I guess we're just trying to be creators. Me and Gunth are both creators. I guess I want to do a little introduction of us. I'm Jimmy, and I am in the media field. That's what I do professionally, and I've done for a while. And I also do it recreationally, so that's why I've started to do this. And would you like to introduce yourself, or would you rather me introduce you?
Why don't you go ahead?
All right. I'll introduce Gunther as well. JC Gunther. He's motioning to me to use the JC name instead of his government name.
Jeremy is my first name.
Jesus.
What?
And
that goes back to when I was growing up. Jeremy, take out the garbage. Jeremy, you didn't do well on this test. Uh-oh.
Well, he's JC now. JC Gunther, as he goes by professionally.
Right.
Professionally as a musician.
Right. Recording artist.
Recording artist, okay.
Would be I guess that would technically be what it is.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Maybe you should have introduced yourself. No, kid.
Yeah. Well, obviously, me and Jimmy grew up together.
Yep.
And I live in Jersey City.
Yep. And I'm here Heights. In Hoboken, not too far away.
Yeah. And I don't know. Fuck.
A little nervous there, Gunther.
A little bit.
Gunther was the one who's very adamant about doing this. Not that I'm not, but
right.
This excited Gunther. And now, what did you say when the lights turn on? You got the red light in front of you. And
go.
Yeah, here we are. Well, we had a few things that we wanted to start talking about.
Right.
So I guess the first thing that we can talk about is Gunther's music, because Gunther released his first song under the name JC Gunther, at least.
April 15th.
April 15th of last year?
2023, yeah.
There you go. And it's out on stream platforms. We've pushed it for a long time among our friends and among anybody that'll listen, but this Breaking Wave is out on all platforms.
Now, Jim, how does that come back to you?
Well, I also did some promotional videos for it, shooting some promotional videos, and a year later, me and Gunther have started doing it again for a new song coming out very soon.
Yes.
Is it okay to say that?
Yeah, because there's not that much. It's just me. I won't be giving anyone else's name at the moment. I have a great vocalist on it. We're working very hard. The single's called Chasing Ghosts.
There you go.
And it's in production now. But we did something at my apartment last weekend. Yeah. James.
I went over to JC's apartment in JC.
Oh, boy.
And we recorded another promotional video similar to the one that we had. This one is also up on... The first one from this Breaking Wave is also up on YouTube,
right.
I believe, right?
Well, there were two.
Yeah, but the first one for this Breaking Wave, not Overture, the first one we did was recording Gunther's room at home. And it was nice. I would rather people go and see it rather than describe it myself. But the new video I have coming out is in a very similar vein. I think capturing the newness of living on your own finally too, which is something new in your life.
Right. And I wanted a very domestic feel.
Yeah.
Rather than we shot one for the Overture, which was on the Asbury Park Boardwalk. That was March 4th, 2023.
Right.
I remember that specifically because it was freezing.
Yeah.
And we were
windy.
You thought it was cold that day, Jim. We were supposed to do it, I think, 2 weeks earlier, and then our photographer had a stomach virus. So that was supposed to be in like the dead of February.
Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah. And it was cold and it was windy.
Yeah.
But we did that one. I thought that one came out great. But there was something about that one we did in my childhood bedroom that I thought was just so cool.
Me as well, yeah.
Yeah. And then so we did it again for Chasing Ghosts, clear out all the furniture, shot a cool thing. But man, that was a rough shoot.
The second one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Me and Gunther tied one off the night before. It wasn't a good idea.
Jim, you were literally like holding the camera, unable to get a still shot.
Yeah, I guess that's when you're a videographer, you're probably not supposed to be going through the shakes.
Yeah, the shakes.
Well, oh well. I guess that's the life we lead now too, I guess.
Sure. Yeah, but I thought that was great too. But about this breaking wave.
Yeah, I wanted to ask how you came about to write it.
Okay, well, this is interesting. There's two answers to this question.
Wait, what's that stupid question that people ask comedians? How do you get your ideas?
Good. What was your question?
Well, no, like I said, I just wanted to ask how you came about to write this breaking wave, whether it's the instrumental side of it or the lyrical side of it. Because you wrote and recorded everything on your own except for the lyrics and he did some of the mixing and mastering was Deletto.
Yeah, who's a genius.
Yeah.
And he sang on it and he killed it, dude. He was like Eddie Vedder and Chris Cornell at the same time. Unbelievable.
Great voice.
Yeah. Well, there's two answers to that, which is interesting because I don't think anyone's really ever asked me. Instrumental came from a song, my favorite song, by the English Beat called
Save It for Later.
It's got this very odd guitar tuning where it's just all D notes and A notes going from the low strings all the way to the high strings. And I was trying to learn it pretty vigorously one week. And since I only really play one or two at a time, I'm stuck in that tuning, never going back. So there's only so much you can really do. So I started working out these parts of this song. They all came together. There was a clean part, the heavy rock distorted parts. And then in a few days, I had like a piece of music. It's like 3.5 minutes long. I was like, damn, I could do something with this. So then I turned it over to Deletto, and we started working it out. And he wanted me to start thinking of lyrical concepts and ideas at the same time. Now, there was a movie from 1978 that I got pretty obsessed with a few summers ago called Coming Home, starring Jon Voight and Bruce Dern. Have you heard the story?
I don't know.
All right.
I have a very since we're doing this and we're going to continue to do it, a common theme will probably be that you have a very good memory and I have a very bad memory.
Right. Well, you said gather your thoughts about this stuff, so I was kind of sitting with.
There you go. Well, maybe this is a story I have heard before or not. We'll see.
Right. So it goes back to Coming Home. It was a war drama film from 1978, and Bruce Dern and Jon Voight play two childhood friends who sign up. They enlist into the Marines to go fight in Vietnam. And the movie is about them kind of coming home and having a hard time adjusting back to regular life and how they both kind of deal with their post-traumatic stress. And Jon Voight's character, the movie, spoiler alert, I'm gonna spoil it because it's important to the story. So Jon Voight, the film ends with him giving a speech to the student body of his hometown high school about what it was like to go to Vietnam. And it's a very like nationalist group of kids. They're like, want to go fight this one, whatever. And his speech is basically like, no, it's not like that. You shouldn't do this. And he's saying all this kind of stuff like, I have killed for my country or whatever. And I've done some stuff I find pretty fucking hard to live with. It's like a great speech. But in the meantime, it's cutting back and forth to Bruce Dern's character and how he's dealing with the post-traumatic stress. And it's this amazing sequence of him going to the beach in his Marine uniform. And he goes up. I'll never forget because it fucked me up. he goes up to this the lifeguard stand, and he takes off his whole uniform, like shoe, hangs up the coat, hangs up the shirt, takes off his wedding ring and puts it on a post. And he undresses for this long dramatic sequence, and then he runs off into the ocean. He drowns himself. He commits suicide. Wow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So in terms of writing a song about challenges and perseverance and struggles, I just watched that and I was just blown away. So I was like, that's our concept.
There you go.
And I remember with the lyrics, I think I read Bruce Springsteen talk about this once, about using the word this, or the title, these something, this something. I think when you use that instead of like the breaking wave, it's like this breaking wave. Whatever this thing is, when you use that term as a title and as a concept, you're really wrapping your arms around it. It brings it home. And I think that it's an easy way to personalize something. So like this thing is here for you, it's here for me, good or bad. So I kind of like the way that sounded.
There you go. Yeah, it's a wonderful song that
Thank you.
captures the essence of all of what you're saying, I would say. And as we said, it's out on all platforms: Spotify, Apple Music,
Napster,
sure, wherever at.
Alexa knows my name. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you, Jim.
Go right ahead.
How did you get into media production, like this kind of creative side of it, and where does that tie in to what you do for a living now?
Yeah, well, I'm not sure if I want to talk about my living too much, or my job, I guess, but
You can just tell me and we'll cut it out.
yeah, sure. But yeah, it dates back all the way to, truly being young, I guess. Me and a mutual friend of me and Gunther used to record videos together. And we used to post them online. I was doing it on my own too.
I remember the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I might say it.
Do not.
Is it still up?
I thought, because Google sent an email out saying that they were going to deactivate all, dormant accounts in November of last year. So
Wait, that's not dormant.
It's pretty dormant. I haven't
You
used
post
it.
on it still.
No, I don't. So I thought maybe it would disappear because YouTube is a product of Google now.
Sure.
But sure enough, it's still up there. But yeah, I used to just record stupid videos with that friend, with you and our.
I was in several.
Yeah, you and our other buddy who we used to hang around with when we were younger. And I used to do it on my own a little bit too, but I always found it easier to do it with friends, obviously. And I don't know, I just found something about it, like editing. I really always loved when I was younger, even though I was just using like Windows Media, or what is that called? Windows Movie Maker. That thing was a piece of garbage.
That always seems like the tedious part, though, is the editing.
Yeah, exactly. But like, certain platforms try to make it simple, so there's just not much that you can do with it. So I just use Windows Media or Movie Maker, and it would just look like garbage all the time because you could only do so much with the text and the transitions. And I only knew so much being so young. But yeah, now then growing up, it became, I guess, more of a storytelling thing that was attractive to me. So I started doing the newspaper, sports news in high school to kind of scratch that itch. And then in my senior year of high school, I took a video production class that I'm sure you know about. There was just a bunch of crazy kids in those classes our senior year.
I don't think I ever took one.
No, probably not.
The legitimacy of my graduation with my credits, it's a blur. I never took the SAT. I took the PSAT twice. I don't think you can do that.
Yeah, you can. You can take as many times. You can take it right now if you wanted to.
What?
The SAT or the PSAT?
I'm not going to. My point is, I don't think I was. I think I got under the table action.
Well, back to what I was saying.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I took a video production class, and still, I think the most attractive thing was the editing, because we were using Premiere, and that's the first time, Adobe Premiere, that's the first time that I got some use with that, some practice with that, and I was really enjoying it. Filming is always hard. That's the thing. That's the one thing about
Oh, really?
media. Yeah, because like the editing, one or a few people can do it, but when it comes to, getting out and like doing the actual field production shoots, like the amount of people that just sort of don't really have any ideas and just want to get out and do it, I think that's fine. You get good practice, but I think I always found editing attractive because you're working with the final product that's already been done, and you can if the if the product from the production was good, you know, the editing will turn out good. But then if it's not, you can try to use the skills that you have to make it better if possible. But yeah, and then I got into college and continued with media production. I kind of stopped doing journalism because I was more into the TV and radio, which I started doing. Did a couple short film projects in college, which was good. Got a lot more classes like animation and a lot of like broadcast news classes because our professor was like that, and other like editing classes and things like that. And yeah, I think I've realized getting into the professional job I have now, which I got out of college and am working now. I think I've sort of realized there is a mundaneness to it, even though people don't want to admit it, you know, because people act like being in production is really cool and, you know, something's always going on. But when you're at a company, when they have so many people and everybody's working on something, you know, it just sort of becomes a little bit of like, sometimes you get a lot of busy work, you know. So doing something like this.
2 seconds in there.
Huh?
It wouldn't last 2 seconds in there.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, it's just like, that's just the way
You're putting in the hard work, though.
Yeah.
It's the tedious, minute shit.
Yeah,
with
exactly.
that kind of thing. Like, it's that would always make me nuts.
And then, like, if I were working at like a small production house or something, I would get recognized for the amount of tedious work I want to do, which I like doing sometimes.
Sure.
But at a bigger company, it's kind of hard to get that recognition.
Oh.
But I was going to say, it's good to be able to do something now with my buddy here, Gunther, and start doing something that is a lot more personal, obviously, and also something that I can work on going forward and trying to create. Like, creating is always something that I've always wanted to do, but sort of have been, I guess, a little nervous or fearful to do. You're better at it than me. But it's good to be working on something that I know we can put our all into, and if the result is good, we'll know it because we'll get what we want out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so too. That's very true.
Yeah. So I feel like I just rambled on for so far.
No, that was a great answer. I'm glad I asked it.
Thank you. Yeah, and we had a couple other notes here, things we wanted to go through. I guess something that's sort of interesting about me and Gunther's relationship. We're like, not like, me and Gunther are best friends too. We didn't mention that at the top.
Yeah, brothers.
Brothers. We've known each other since, what, 5th grade?
Yeah.
We're 25 now.
I still remember who introduced me to you.
I'm not sure if common theme. My bad memory, your good memory.
Yeah.
What was the story?
I shan't say it. Just protect the names of the innocent. I guess he's not that innocent. I mean, he gave me you.
What was the story?
We just had well, you invited this particular friend over to your place,
right?
To lose him in 3-on-3 or 2-on-2 basketball, and I happened to go.
I think I remember that now because we went down by the creek. Yeah,
totally.
There you go.
That was a long time ago. Fuck.
Yeah, a long time ago. We're 25 now, and we were in 5th grade. That means
10.
we were 10. So.
I've known you for 15 years.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
Every year that we get older, I'm like, oh man, we're not kids anymore.
It's
scary. It gets a little nerve. I feel like a kid still. That's the thing, I guess.
Oh, like I always said, man, I've been 18 for 7 years.
No growth at all.
No. You look good. You been exercising?
Yeah, I did today.
I sometimes think about picking that up, frankly. Sometimes I think about picking that up.
Yeah, you should. I signed up for the Purple Gym. I don't want to. If we're not going to get sponsorship, I don't want to promote them. I also
the Blue Gym.
No, the Purple. I think people that you know the Purple Gym. No, it's a very astral name to it.
Oh, my
The Purple Gym.
That's funny.
Yeah, I went there today. I hadn't gone in like weeks, and I went there today. And I hate going during the day. The weekend's the worst because I actually work nights now, so I would go sometimes like at like 2 a.m.
Oh my! Wait, really?
Yeah.
You went after work?
Yeah, I would go after work all the time. That's why.
Oh, I guess that's not that weird. It's just it happens to be 2 a.m.
Yeah, it's open 24 hours during the week.
Oh.
So I would go there and do everything that I need to do, and like it was good because it's empty though. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's like the best benefit to it is that you go and you can just do whatever you want. I went today, dude, and it was the first time I ever went during the day, and it was
a scene.
Dude, it's awful.
Yeah.
Like people are just everywhere.
People are everywhere, dude.
I hate that so much. Like I don't
want
want
rats.
Yeah. And like it's hot and like people are just like I hate the people that say too, like when you go to the gym, like, oh, nobody else is thinking about you. When it's packed like that, you like your eyes are on somebody, you know?
Totally.
So like, how are you not going to be firing some neurons about all the other people that are in there?
Definitely.
I think
Just
it's ridiculous.
saying we advocate for fitness on this podcast.
Yeah, sure.
Well, I tried jogging once. The cigarette kept going out.
No, we do advocate for it. I think it's good. I think you should look into getting into it too.
Sure.
Is there any places near you to go to? I guess you haven't done the research.
Correct.
Well, moving on.
All right.
But back to what I was getting at by talking about how close me and Gunther are is that because he's in music and I'm in media, which includes, like film,
The
television.
king of all media.
I'm the...
You're like the Howard Stern of not Howard Stern.
Well, since we're into
Get you on a track, man. It's about time. Get a feature.
Since we're both into that, I would say it's something that we bond over is either the music we listen to or the film and television we watch. Gunther's always telling me to listen or watch something. I don't sometimes.
Who's got the time?
Yeah.
It's just me. If I'm on my lunch break at work, I'm shooting you at least a song and a half.
It's ridiculous.
A deuce and a half, easy.
Gunther is always on. But yeah, and I've roped in Gunther into watching some things over the years and listening to some things.
I'm in the middle of a program right now.
In the middle of the program that I recommended.
Correct.
You're in the middle of Better Call Saul.
That's correct.
And you're enjoying it.
I'm loving it.
Yeah.
And I remember since I work in education, we have August off. So after the 2023 school year, this was actually around the time I started writing this Breaking Wave. So this was after that. This was that summer. And no, wait. 2022. That August. I started watching Breaking Bad. Mm-hmm. And since I had nothing to do and, the checks were still coming in, I didn't work a part-time job. I was just sitting on the couch. I must have killed that whole show in like 9 days. It was something disgusting. Like we hung out a few times one week and you're like, wait, you're how far along?
I remember that.
And then like 2 years later, 2 years of you saying you have to watch the spinoff. It's pretty good. I'm like, man.
Yeah.
Odenkirk.
Yeah. It's hard to get into. It's slow.
No, I love him now.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. Everything about it though, I think it's just like.
You can't take your eyes off the screen.
Exactly. It's great cinematic television. That's what I was about to say.
Totally. Like with the pool.
Yeah. Like
with the, yeah.
People don't think about how hour-long episodes of television are like.
It doesn't feel that way though.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
And it moves quickly.
Yeah, it does. I mean, that's how it has to go since it is television, I imagine. But, yeah, I mean, and there's so much over the years that me and Gunther have bonded over. I still haven't watched The Sopranos, which Gunther's been banging the table for me to do. But
your roommate's got it on constantly.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. He started it, so now I can't hop in.
Just jump in.
No, that's not how it works.
What you should do is you should start with the last episode and then move back.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
That's a great idea.
It's like reading a book right to left.
Right to left. Yeah.
You'll notice I left out
Start
books.
with the even numbered seasons and then go 1, 3, 5. So 2, 4, 6, 1, 3, 5. Do that.
It's a terrible idea.
That's a horrible idea.
Well, and I would say music over the years is something that we've bonded over a lot too, because it's so easy now to like connect your music with the people. And I mean, you can always have music on without having to pay attention to it like you do TV or film.
And I descend upon my Spotify like a locust.
Yeah.
Like when we were growing up when it was just iTunes, I wish it was this simple.
Yeah.
Where you weren't paying per song.
Oh yeah.
And stuff. Like it's like if I was just able to just go through the entire Replacements discography when I was 11 years old, I didn't like them. It's not really the point. I don't know why I said them. But it would have been messy.
Yeah. But also like the thing I find interesting about you is that you love to share music too.
I do.
Like you talked about before. And we like started using the Spotify blend.
Which I listen
feature.
to almost every other day, probably.
Yeah. I probably have about 2 blends. I think Gunther's got 100.
I gotta get my dad on one. That would be fire.
At first I thought Gunther created a blend with me and I was the only one he created a blend with, and then I see his phone one day.
I've been cheating on him.
Yeah. I see that he has like 50 people.
Well, there's a few that I never even touched. I remember he won't mind me saying this because he probably won't make it this far into the podcast. My older brother, me and his was dead in the water.
Yeah.
And not to trash anyone's taste, but I have particular sensibilities for music, and my older brother, it would be like it would be things from like Hozier to like Tyler Childers to like Chief Keef. My brother played football in high school.
Yeah.
So I think he likes that kind of like locker room rap.
Yeah.
Him and the boys, I love it. But it's not really my forte. What I'm saying is there's not as much overlap as there is with Say You.
Right. I noticed that about that feature too, because using it with I used it with one of our other friends. We created one between us three.
Yeah, how does that work?
With him.
That's a handful.
Have you looked at it recently?
No.
Oh, it's pretty good because we all have more similar taste though than like you would with your brother. I would say if you're describing it correctly.
Sure.
And
I don't think there was a track on there for the three of us where it was all three of us.
There might be now because when you play it on the blend, eventually it says that all three listen to it. But I looked at it today. It's like pretty good. But I would say me and Gunther's is like.
Ours is awesome.
Yeah, it's great because like over the years I've become more into the music that you're into. And also the music I'm into now is maybe just a more modern version of music that you listen to.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, because you listen to mostly 20th century music, 20th century rock.
Yeah,
yeah,
which is okay.
I would go ahead and rip through like all the stuff you listen to, like as best you can for highlight the stuff that you mainly listen to as
the Holy Trinity
as an artist.
The three that never seem to go away are the Who is my number one by far. I'm the biggest Who fan. I'm a freak. I love Bruce Springsteen, and I love U2.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I actually have
what?
2 things I wanted to show you, but keep talking.
Okay. Jim's getting up. His left leg fell asleep. I noticed. Yeah, so U2, The Who, Springsteen. I love AC/DC. The Cult. There's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah. All right, so as we said, we're here in my apartment, so I got in my apartment now I have a record player that was my dad's and a tape and CD player that was also my dad's. So originally Gunther's probably seen all my records by now, but I brought the tape player in like last week and I got all these tapes from my dad. So I wanted to show
what you got. Wait, you got that from your dad?
These were in his collection. Yeah.
He had Octoon Baby?
Sure. Yeah.
Wow.
So I'll take pictures of them and put them up on
holy crap, Jim.
Whatever version we have of this.
Yeah, wow.
If we do a video.
U2 Octoon Baby, and we got U2 The Joshua Tree.
Yeah.
The 2 seminal records of probably the late 80s.
Yeah.
God damn.
I know those 2 are standout in my collection, in my dad's collection.
This is a masterpiece. Dude.
Yeah.
But I abstained from getting it on vinyl because I just think that this sounds so good digitally because it's way ahead of its time, the production kind of thing. And like with my turntable and my speakers, I always thought that like more kind of dry, more up the middle rock music sounds better. It's got that warmth. Like you've been in my place where I play all the time. Allman Brothers, early Journey, The Cult, AC/DC, Springsteen, 60s Who, Skinnerd, stuff like that. But yeah, it's really cool. I'm dying to know what that sounds like.
And I intentionally left out another thing I wanted to show Gunther, so I'll get that too.
Again?
This one is funnier.
Okay.
I don't know if you're gonna remember I had this.
Can I guess it?
Yeah.
I don't have anything.
You can't guess it?
No.
Not at all? Let me see. Keep entertaining the people while Oh no, here.
I was about to tell him about how a moth walked into a podiatrist's office. Damn.
Okay, this one is a throwback to a long time ago when Gunther gave me this.
Get out of here.
Isn't that crazy? So the CD player that...
Can you explain what this is?
Yeah, but I brought all the CDs that I had in my room so I could use them on the CD player that I brought.
We should listen to this before we get out of here.
We can, yeah. And honestly, not that I remember like all that deep how much is on it, but
I think I could tell you.
Gunther gave like back when he did this like recital thing, I guess.
No, it was almost like School of Rock. It was a summer. I keep saying band camp. This might give people the wrong impression. This one time band camp. This was a rock band camp for kids who like to play rock music and we're too young to start a band. Maybe I was like 13.
Yeah.
And we did it at the William Patterson University. I think that this program has since been discontinued.
Yeah.
But they ended with us going to that to a studio in the school and recording covers, multi-track covers of a few songs. We each got to pick one.
Yeah.
And we put it on a CD, and I remember my dad helped me burn about 1,000 copies, and I gave them to all my friends, like the little dork I was. And Jim got one, and he kept it.
Yep.
And if I can remember, on this one, off the top of my head, there's no track. It just says my name.
Yeah, Gunther just signed his name.
I just signed my
Sharpie
name in Sharpie on the top.
If we do a video, like, or at least like put this up on YouTube, I'll include some still shots of the stuff I'm showing.
Or there's no. This is they're like terrible covers. I don't think we're gonna get in trouble for playing it on here.
No, but also I'm not sure how we would play it.
Okay,
picking it up. So
if I remember correctly, on this CD, we got.
I remember the opening track. That's the only one I remember though.
I'm gonna try. I don't remember the order, but I'm gonna go in. What do we got? My pick was Led Zeppelin Rock and Roll.
Okay, I didn't even
Zeppelin
know
4. One of the guys chose Santana. What the hell is it? Oye como va. That one. Oye como va. Someone chose 50 Ways to Kill Your Lover. Someone chose Danny California.
That's the one I remember, yeah.
That one.
Because that maybe it's not the opening track, but that was the one that was
But there were
recorded
5.
on video, right? Didn't you show us a video of you guys playing? Because I remember
My dad filmed it on his Sony camcorder.
Yeah.
We played, and this is interesting for anyone who's in Jersey. We did a live performance at the end of the camp. This was it was like a 4-week program, I think. And we did a show at the Mexicali Live in Teaneck, New Jersey, which has since been renamed the Debonair Music Hall. And they get real acts there now.
Yeah.
Vicky Betts from the Allman Brothers played there
Yeah.
a little while ago. I've seen LA Guns there, the LA metal band from the late 80s. Yeah, great room. But I can't believe you still have this.
Well, not that I'm like a hoarder or anything, but in my like childhood bedroom, like I have over the years kept a lot of mementos, and like every like year or so I'd get rid of stuff, but stuff that I know is stuff that I'm like supposed to keep for a long time just because of how it's sentimental. I keep so. I have like our middle school yearbook. I'm sure you still have that too.
It's in my bedroom.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
That's not
like
true.
stuff like
I think it's at my mom's place.
yeah. Well, yeah, that's what I mean. In my childhood bedroom. So yeah, I just keep stuff like that. And then I didn't realize I took that along with the CD collection.
That was
I have
8th
until
grade.
I saw. Yeah,
8th grade.
that's crazy. I remember the video of you with the old glasses that you wore.
Oh man, I remember. If I remember correctly, I was wearing my white Springsteen "Born to Run" T-shirt, which our friend, he knows who he is. Not gonna say his name.
We're only not saying people's names because we're not sure if they would want us to. So that's why we
Right,
started.
and we love this guy.
Yeah.
It's not about that. But I loved that T-shirt. It was a white shirt, and it just had that kind of photo of Bruce leaning on Clarence Clemens, like the original album cover.
Mm-hmm.
And on the back it said all these details about the release of the record. And I loved that T-shirt. I wore it all the time to the point where there were like faint yellow stains in the armpits because it was white.
Yeah.
But I loved that thing. I wore it constantly. And then I had a friend of ours who borrowed it to play I think it was like an intramural basketball game. He needed a white shirt. It was like an open gym thing, and he needed a white shirt, and I gave it to him. Never saw it again.
That's terrible.
I know. What else you got on the notes?
That was pretty much it. I think it's we ran about 35 minutes here, so
It'll be like probably it'd be 33 with the chops.
yeah, not very much. I'm not going to chop
Make
much
sure
at
you
all.
cut out that one thing.
You could tell me later.
All right.
And yeah, I mean, this is me and Gunther have
We're barely scratching the surface.
Yeah, we always wanted to record a podcast. I would say we've talked about it for years, but it's the type of thing. I think like also something that I didn't mention when I was talking about my career in media is like, I have like sort of a very bad perspective on like I'm kind of like a perfectionist, like I feel like if I do something, I can't be very loose and easy with it, like, putting my name on or stuff like that. Like I want it to seem professional. I want it to seem good, but I think accepting that, you can just do some things for fun. And if it fails or, isn't able to fail because you don't really think of it as something that you're releasing, you're just sort of having fun with it. I think that's something that I wanted to start doing more. So that's why we started doing this too. And yeah, I think we did a pretty good job with the pilot episode.
Yeah, I think we did great.
So
I was a little nervous in the beginning.
Yeah, it's all right. We'll get our
I'm just dreading that moment too.
What, when I hit record?
Like I had like that gulp. Like, oh.
Well, we made it through. I think
Yes,
about 36 minutes. I think it's a good time to put it to an end for now. So
Sign off.
if anybody did listen, thank you very much for listening, and we'll continue. Maybe we'll do one again next week or something.
Yeah,
All
absolutely.
right. Well, this is Jim and Gunth with our Untitled So Far podcast.
Signing off.
Signing off.